You're watching the Color 8 First News at 5.
Good evening and welcome to the Color 8 First News at 5. I'm Sarah Gravlee. The tornado literally ripped the roof off of Metro Park and scattered pieces of what was once the building across the heights. The party really got started about a half an hour ago and some of the returns started coming in nationally.
They did confirm that the DNA matched and that the mother bear has been put down.
We're often told there are two seasons here in Montana. We've got winter and then we've got construction season. In his first live interview of the evening, Congressman Denny Rehberg is joining us now. Believe it or not, we have deep fried butter. The main gun you see on this tank is a 120 millimeter cannon. Delivery complete.
Let's go for the next one.
It is the busiest day of the year for UPS. They're delivering about 22 million packages across the country. Charleston Air Force Base in South Carolina has been bustling with activity ever since Operation Unified Response started weeks ago.
I've been down to Haiti 6 times.
Christopher Neri is a pilot with the U.S. Air Force. He and hundreds of others at Charleston Air Force Base are focusing on relief efforts in Haiti.
Our part of the mission in Haiti is the resupply, taking down both food and water.
Crews in Charleston are using these massive planes called C-17s.
The second biggest cargo plane the Air Force has.
Just how big is this plane? Well, it's about 170 feet from nose to tail with a similar wingspan. The really cool thing about the C-17 is its cargo capacity. This thing can hold 170,000 pounds. That's the equivalent of 2 fully loaded 18-wheelers.
Once we upload the cargo and actually see what's back there, it's pretty cool to see all the stuff that we're taking.
The plane we're traveling on will carry both supplies and passengers. The mission started early Wednesday morning. We took off from Charleston with a few pallets full of medical supplies. Our first leg brought us to an Air Force base in Honduras, where we unloaded these supplies and made room for 2 fire trucks. Then it was off to Haiti. Crews based at Charleston Air Force Base have already made 165 stops here in Haiti, and it is right here at the airport that they are offloading much-needed supplies and picking up evacuees. The Air Force is setting up a base at the airport in Port-au-Prince, but they have to bring in tents because the building is not structurally sound.
Stuff like this, like coming into Haiti, is a lot of fun because you actually get to see exactly how you're helping people.
Something that was especially visible on our mission as we picked up nearly 130 passengers, including 40 orphans recently adopted by American citizens. Their journey was not an easy one.
Many of us have actually been staying at the embassy for the past week.
No blankets, no pillows.
But when they saw the Air Force plane land, they knew their luck was turning around.
We cried. Miracle. Miracle by the grace of God only.
I can't even begin to tell you how awesome it is to know that when this plane lands, we'll be on American soil and I'll have my son home with me.
The plane has about 50 jump seats, but other passengers had to be strapped to the floor of the plane like cargo. Passengers were let off in Miami and our plane headed back to Charleston. It was a 22-hour mission for us, but a much longer journey for these evacuees. And the flight crew gets about 18 hours of rest, then they could be called up for another mission and do it all over again. Montana wildlife officials say at least one bear attacked 3 people at a campground near Yellowstone National Park before dawn, killing 1 person and injuring 2 others. Montana Fish, Wildlife and Parks spokesman Ron Oshheim says a male died in the attack in the Soda Butte campground just east of Cook City. Meantime, it is the peak of tourism season in Cook City, and dozens of campers were at the site of the attack. They say it was a very early morning. Ted and Connie Ehringer are traveling the country on their motorcycle.
We're passing through. We're in Yellowstone for about a week, enjoying the sights.
But Connie has one fear about the trip.
I had this fear of bears and being attacked.
On Wednesday morning, that fear became a reality.
I was awake when the park ranger came and he just said, "Is anybody in there?" And I said yes, and he told us, not in a real excited voice, but he said that 2 people had been attacked by a bear and that they were informing anybody in a soft-sided tent about that. And I just got up and got clothes on. I said, "Let's get out of here."
When Connie said, "Let's get dressed and get out of here," I was all for it.
The bear attacked a camp just 2 sites away from Connie and Ted's, a little too close to comfort for Connie.
It was like my worst fear, I guess, coming true.
Officials closed the gates to Soda Butte campground shortly after evacuating. They're now allowing campers in one at a time to gather their supplies. And as officials leave out traps for the bear, Connie and Ted say they will plan their trips a little different in the future.
We'll think twice about where we camp, I guess, and just be very careful.
And officials say the investigation is expected to last for the rest of the day. An American hero was laid to rest today at the Yellowstone County Veterans Cemetery. Ed Chapowski played a key role in notifying the world of the attack on Pearl Harbor, but he will be remembered for much more than that by his many friends and large family. 88-year-old Ed Chapowski was laid to rest today with full military honors.
Ready?
He was underage when he joined the Navy and was just 19 when the Japanese targeted Pearl Harbor.
A date which will live in infamy.
Chapowski was sitting on his bunk when the attack started. The radio man ran to the communication center where it became his responsibility to transmit the information to the rest of the world.
This is no drill. Pearl Harbor is being bombed by the Japanese. This is no drill. And it was sent in code to all ships and stations throughout the whole world.
Family members wore bright colors and leis around their necks today to celebrate his life and his service in Hawaii. His daughter, Chris Sarver, says her father will be remembered as a hero for the nation and his neighbors.
I can always remember a woman across the street grew old and she became afraid. She was a German immigrant and couldn't speak English, and she lost her husband. And my dad would go and check on her every day.
Chris says her dad didn't talk about the war much until he became involved with the Pearl Harbor Survivors Group. He then made it his mission to encourage kids to get involved with the political process. Ed developed a painful form of cancer and lost his battle on Sunday.
The doctor asked him at one point, how much does your chest hurt? And he said to him, it hurts more than it did that day at Pearl Harbor. And of course he wasn't wounded at Pearl Harbor, which tells you the immensity of the emotion as he watched the Arizona go down. He had many friends on it when it sunk.
A hero now free of his pain, resting in the Yellowstone County Veterans Cemetery. We thank him for his service. He had 7 children, 10 grandchildren, 24 great-grandchildren, and 1 great-great-grandchild.